Good morning, happy Thursday. I want to come on today because I'm not going to be back on until one day next week. With I want to come on and start pushing my videos so I can have a platform going already for my videos. And I want to first thank all my supporters. I'm getting so many response from different women inboxing me, telling me thank you. They love my platform and everything, because was a very hard topic to want to tap into. A lot of people don't want to tap into the relationship topic because they feel like I'm getting a lot of backlash. But it's healing, people. It's healing. Even for me talking to these videos, I'm healing. So it's a good platform. So I just want to thank everyone for their support. Like I said, on Facebook, I don't know the exact day, but I'm gonna start coming on interviewing different people, talking about different topics and things like that. If you want to be a part of it, please inbox me, Tiffany Adams on Facebook. So this someone said yesterday, it looked like you were crying. I'm like, this is a hard topic, but I wasn't crying yesterday. It was glitter actually from the lip gloss. But today's topic is very touchy for me. So you might see me go, because God is still working on me. And I love telling people that I don't want to make it look like I'm all together, because trust me, I'm not. And I love listening to different videos, but I like to listen to videos on a person who actually experienced the same thing I experienced. Like I see a lot of videos with different people talking about marriage, and it's like, how are you talking to somebody about marriage and you ain't never been married, or how to get a husband, or how to get a wife and you ain't never had one, or how to keep one, and how you gonna keep one, boo, if you ain't even got one? So I'm not knocking nobody platform. Sorry, that's not what I'm here to do. I'm just saying it's good to talk to different people who can relate to some things that you've been through. And everything I'm talking about, I'm talking from experience. So that's it. I'm not knocking anybody. If that's your platform to talk about marriage, I'm not knocking you. I'm just saying, for me, I like to listen to people who actually have experienced the same thing I have experienced. But today's topic is, for me, is on forgiveness. That is a very touchy topic, and God is still working on me. So just don't judge me. God is still working on me, for real. Indeed, He is. Forgiveness is a very hard topic to talk about, even to tap into. A lot of people be like, well, I forgave such and such, and you haven't truly forgiven them, because just the thought of their name still bothers you. If you still talking about what they did to you years ago, it's still affecting you. You have not truly healed from the situation. It's a process of healing. Trust me, I know. My first child father, you have to get the book. Please get the book. For all the ladies who's inboxing me, or anybody who feel like whatever I'm talking about is really touching you and pulling on you, get the book. It's only $15. I'm not charging anybody. It's $15. It's actually, I'm only really charging you $10, because the $5 is going to cover your shipping and handling. Inbox me on Facebook, Tiffany Adams, and let me know the address where you want to go to. My Cash App is $MSTIFF, the number 3, $MSTIFF, the number 3. That's my Cash App. You can go ahead and send that $15 and get the copy of this first book, Mother's Diary. And there's just not me, it's other women as well who are talking about different things that they've been through. But for you to understand where I'm coming from, you have to read that book. And then also, like I said, I'm going into my second book, and you'll be able to connect the two. But anyway, this topic, forgiveness, it's hard. Like I said, my first child father, if you had read the book, it took me some years to forgive him. It took years. It was not an overnight process. But now, even to this day, when he even talk about it, guess what? It doesn't affect me. He be like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, don't be sorry. It helped me. Don't be sorry. It made me who I am today. So I don't feel any type of way about that. Because you have to forgive. You have to let God work on your heart. You can't just wake up tomorrow and say, man, I forgave such and such for all the things that they did to me. It's a work in progress, especially when you haven't done anything and somebody is constantly hurting you over and over and over again. And they just feel like, okay, I hurt you, get over it and move on. You should be over it. How long is it going to take you? I mean, that really bothers me, because I had someone tell me that. How long is it going to take you to heal? And I'm like, dude, you just did this to me. So what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to get over what you have done to me? And it's some recent stuff. This ain't no 10, 15, 5, 3, 2. It's recent things that you done to me. So it's a process. So don't let nobody tell you that overnight you gonna have to be healed and delivered from. It's a process. It's a process. Seriously. For me, it's like I don't bother anybody. I don't do anything to you. But if you come for me, then I'm going to come for you. But I'm not even doing that. It's an eye for eye type of situation. I just like to be, when somebody do something to me, I like to just remove myself completely away from around them. I lose your number. I lose the whole situation. I just want to remove myself. It's like, why continue to be around someone who's trying to hurt you? Because by them constantly trying to hurt you, then you're going to be like, oh, I'm finna get, life is too short for that. I don't want to go tick for tack. Okay, you did this to me. I'm going to come back and do. No, let me just remove myself from you. So that's the topic I want to talk about. A lot of people be like, man, I mean, they just did me so dirty. I mean, they drugged me through the mud. How can I truly forgive them? And I'm here to tell you, it's not a quick fix. God has to really deal with you. And then and for me, it was my long time to really help me to deal with that. I was able to even call my ex and say, I forgive you. And that was a hard pill for me to swallow, to say. I mean, I was like, God, why is he doing this to me? Because I didn't understand it. I'm like, this situation wasn't really making any sense to me. I'm like, okay, you're saying things that something I did to you 5-6 years ago, and you're holding that against me today. We still talking about that. And I was like, if that's the case, I can go back and say, look, all the things you did to me. But I was able to get over it and say, okay, let's move forward. But I'm thinking we don't move forward, and you still, in your heart, you still holding on to it, and you still out here doing you. And then you come back later and throw it in my face. Well, you did this. So I'm like, but that was like 6 years ago. We still talking about that? And so I'm like, and I could laugh because I'm like, Lord, I just don't understand. And a lot of people be like, girl, I never experienced no stuff that you going through. You strong. I'm like, trust me, I'm not strong at all. In my moments, God knows. It's a poem called Footprints. And I love that poem because in the poem it says, God, when I needed you I'm looking at my life, and it's like, when I needed you the most, where were you? And God said, in that time, my child, is when I carried you. And I'm telling you, if it had not been for the Lord carrying me in this last season right here, I probably would have snapped. It's a show called Snapped, and I see how a lot of people actually snap. People playing with their emotions, their hearts, their feelings, and some people just actually really snap. And I thank God for my kids, because I look at them like, no, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So like I say, you got to find some things that help you heal. I like listen to different type of gospel music. It's a song I love. I Don't Mind. I mean, I go in, I start pulling on music. I love the poem Footprints. You got to find some healing, even if it's a poem, a book. Find something that's going to help heal you. It's not, like I say, once again, it's not an overnight fix. Especially if you feel like, man, I didn't even do nothing. That's how I was like, at that time, I wasn't even doing anything. I'm like, I'm at home taking care of my kids. I'm not doing anything. And then the people that was like around him, they were just coming at me like, oh, I heard you did this. I heard you did that. I'm like, what, 6 years ago? And they like, huh? I'm like, I ain't did nothing recently. And did they tell you what they did previous to that? And then when I say that, they get really quiet. Like, I'm like, of course, when somebody out here doing what they want to do, they're going to make the other person seem like the bad person. But as you can see, I'm not as bad as you thought I was, right? No, you're not. I'm like, I wasn't doing anything. I was in the house taking care of my kids. My oldest, when she was in grammar school, she's a junior now. She was in spelling bee. She ranked number 3 in her whole district. My baby, she's 10 now. I mean, she gets good grades. She's at a 10th grade reading level. She might not can't pronounce big words, but if you give her a story, she can break that story down to you and things like that. That's why she scores so high in her MAP scores. I was focused on my kids. The reason why I was focused on my kids because I know out here being a minority, even being a woman, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to compete with guys in a job, in a marketplace. And I want them to, when they get out here, I want them to be way better than me. Because by the time they get grown, jobs are going to be so hard to come by without an education. So I was really focusing on my kids, pushing the education. If you can see anybody who's been friends with me, I think I've been on Facebook since 2009. You can see most of my posts about my children and their accomplishments. So that was my focus. So I wasn't out here doing anything. You know, I don't know if that was in their head, like she doing this. I was focusing on my kids, and you can see it in their grades. When I go see their teachers, they tell them, ooh, thank you so much. They thanking me for them being in their classroom, you know, because that was my focus. I wasn't out here doing nothing. So at that time, I'm like, I ain't even doing nothing. So I just didn't understand. I'm like, why do they continue to keep hurting me? Like, I'm not doing nothing. I could see if I'm out here doing something, they got an excuse on that. But the excuse was something I did 6 years ago. So I had to tell myself, like, why are you constantly allowing this person to continue to hurt you like that? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm a big fan of family. I always wanted a family. You know, when I was younger, I wasn't really pushing the topic on family, you know, because I wasn't ready. If you watch any of my other 2 videos, I wasn't ready to be a wife or anything like that. But once I had my second child, and I was like, okay, you know, I got 2 kids now. I'm like, I'm ready. So I'm like, I always wanted my kid to be in the same household with their, but you can't force a person if that's not what they want to do. You know, I was like, I'm doing everything to show you that's what I want, you know, but if that's not something that you want, I can't kill myself about it. But also, you can't keep doing things to me and say, okay, we got the kids together, and I'm supposed to just accept that. And I got my girls at the time, they watching me like, man, you allow, you know, and my oldest even said that and that's bad. You don't allow somebody to continue to hurt you just because you have children together. That don't make a person love you. A lot of women, I want to say that too, just because you have kids by somebody don't mean anything. They'll go off and be with another female. They ain't got no kids back. They'll be taking care of them, doing all type of things for them, and you still at home with your kid, you know. So don't feel like, man, I'm finna have like 2, 3, 4, 5 kids by him, and that's gonna keep him. That don't keep a man. Trust me, having kids by somebody, they'll treat the next woman 1,000 times better than they ever treated you. I trust me, I know. So having kids by someone it's bad, you know, that you have kids by somebody and they don't, you know, it's bad that they don't want to help you. But having kids by somebody don't make them stay. It don't. Now, if it was like, I think like the 60s, early 70s, I think times were different where guys they were still out here doing them, but they were still at home. But now these guys these days, they morals are totally different. They can care less. So, but as women, we have to be able to move forward, especially if you have kids about somebody. You got to be able to say, you know what, that's a whole different topic. Me and you are completely separate from the kid. And I know that's a hard pill to swallow. Trust me, God is working on me too. He's working on me. But you have to be the bigger person to say, you know what, at the end of this life, I want God to say, well done to me. And the forgiveness is not for them. The forgiveness is for you. Because if you continue to hold on to what the person did to you, you can't move forward. You will still be in a standstill position. And then God do bring somebody into your life. You can run that person away from you because you still mad about something that this dude did. And God could be bringing, or this woman did to you. And God could be bringing somebody right before you. And they could be a good person, but you missing out what they doing because you still mad about what this person did to you. And I can tell you from experience, that's me. I have guys trying to talk to me to this moment. I'm still was talking about what my ex did. I'm like, man, dude did me dirty, man. Can y'all believe he did? They was like, they be listening like, and they still, and I'm skipping everything that they saying. They like, can I take you out? I'm like, man, I can't believe him, you know. So I could talk off of experience on what I did. I'm like, I can't believe he did me like that. You know, and I ain't even doing nothing. You know, I'm taking care of my kids, and he, you know, and they like, so when are we going out? And I'm still going back talking about him, and that'll run a guy away like really super fast. I'm like, right now I can't. I'm snapping on them. I ain't even trying to talk to you right now because I'm mad at dude. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe him. They like, go ahead and handle your go ahead and handle your business. I'm like, I can't believe him. You know, so you can miss your next. You know what I'm saying? Worrying about what your ex did to you, you know what I'm saying? You still mad about the situation, but if it's, you know, I gotta be, if it's still fresh, you know, I'm like, if you watch my last video, I'm not like a connect 4. I don't like to connect my relationship. If it's something that just happened recently, I'm not gonna tell you, ooh, girl, you know, or guy, move on fast or whatever. But if it's something recently, I understand your pain. Because trust me, I'm going through the same thing. You know, this is fresh wounds for me, you know. So if it's fresh, I understand. But like I said, I never want to, I'm not that person. I'm with you this week and I'm with somebody the next week. I'm with, you know, I can't move like that. I'm sorry. I know some people can move like that. They can, you know, I like to sit down. I don't like to connect my relationships because I don't want nobody coming back and say, well, I was with her this time. I don't want to hear none of that because that's disgusting, first of all, and that's quite embarrassing that you have to, you know, like, man, you was out there like you was moving like that. Nah, bro. I wasn't moving like that. So I want all freshness. So that's how it was for me. I'm like, I don't want to connect my relationships with each other. So that's why I was sitting down for a season. I'm sitting down, but now I'm ready to get back out there, you know. I'm ready to get out there. A lot of people like, well, when are you going to get back out there? I'm like, let me ease back into it. Now I'm ready to ease back into it. So, you know, it won't be so much of, oh, what he did to me. It's like me trying to better myself for me and for my children. Not focusing on what somebody else did. So that's why I want to tackle back into forgiveness. It's not for them, it's for you, so you can move forward in your life. Because if you still holding on to what they did to you, you can't move forward. You still in a standstill position, still angry. And some people, yeah, they might get into another relationship with somebody else, but you still mad. And you know, your new relationship, they like, man, they mess me. It's because you still holding on to something that this person did to you. You have to let it go. Don't let it go for yourself. Let it go for yourself. Tell God every day. And that's who I am. God, could you just remove it? Remove it. Remove it. Remove it. Remove it. Even when I think of his name, remove it. Remove it. Remove it. Or her name, remove it. Remove it. When I see them, remove it. Remove it. Remove it. You know, that was that type of female to argue over a man. I never argue over a man. Because I never forget, my mama told me this years ago. She was like, never argue or fight over a guy or a person. Because guess what? At the next day, they're going to be right with that person. You done did all that fighting. You done did all that arguing. Guess what? They're going to be right with the next person. True story. Lived on the west side, Ridgeway. People know who they are. This girl came to my backyard. Never forget it once. I fight over this guy. And I'm like, girl, I ain't finna fight over him. I was looking at her real crazy. And he was like, man, these bees finna fight over me. I'm like, dude. And my mama, she know. She must have heard the commotion or whatever. Because we stayed up like on the second floor. But you could see from outside, and she's like, Tiffany, get upstairs. So I'm like, I'm finna go up the stairs, and then the girl started talking smart to my mama. So that made me want to come back up down the stairs. I'm now for this one, we go. If I don't care if you here with 3-4 of your friends, I'm finna get jumped today because you ain't finna be talking to my mama crazy. But I'm not finna argue and fight over no dude. And guess what? Just like my mama said, the next morning, He was knocking at my door. And to that day, he know who he is. I hope he listens to this video. We was cool, but I never messed with him like that again. I never looked at him the same or anything like that. Not just because he was young. You know, when you young, you gonna do that. But for that comment that he made, like he had no respect for me or for this other young lady, I'm like, I don't want to mess with nobody like that who got to disrespect me when he in front of people, when he by himself with me. He a total different person. I'm like, no. So I never fought over a guy. I'm like, if females call me, I'm like, listen, what you gonna do? Cause especially at that time, I ain't had no kids. It's over with for me. If you hurt me or you did something to me, guess what? I moved on. It was nothing. I never talked to you again. I never seen you. If I seen you, I walk straight past you like I ain't even know you. You know. And to this day, women, boo, I'll move out. I'm not finna argue over no dude. I don't know if it stopped. Somebody just called me. I'm not finna argue. And now that's to any women. I used to see females out there arguing, getting busted in the head, busting the nose. You know what I'm saying? Fighting pretty females, face all scratched up, fighting over dudes and stuff. I'm like, what, girl? And guess what? The next week he was with somebody else. That's crazy. No. I ain't finna argue. Now what I would do, I'm gonna come at him. I'm gonna come at him. You know, and then guess what? I'm gone. I'm gonna come at him. Only time I'm gonna come at a female, you know what I'm saying? She coming at me talking crazy or whatever, or she in my business. That's what I want to know. Man, your business. Then you gonna hear from Sif. But as far as arguing and stuff, it don't make no sense. That's what you stressing yourself out and things like that. That's why you gotta ask God to, God, touch my heart and to mend it. You know, so you don't even be going back. Don't put yourself in a position to still be bitter and angry about what they did. Oh, they cheated on me 15 years ago. Guess what? I know it's been 15, 10 years, 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, 6 months, whatever. It's a song by, what's that girl? Ariana Grande. Thank You Next. I love that song. That was my melody for last year. When all this stuff was happening to me, I was playing that song. Thank You Next. Because I was already asking God to heal me. Heal. Thank you for my next. Because all the things that you took me through, when God sent me my next, I could walk up to you and say thank you, because I know I wasn't the person that you portrayed me to be. I know who I was. So when God sent me my next, I'm going to be so grateful for it, because he going to do all the things. Well, I'm hoping, I'm praying, I'm speaking into existence that you never did. He going to capture me. He going to look at me. He going to respect me, you know, and I ain't going to have to beg him to do this. I ain't going to have to beg him to do that. He's going to want to do it freely. So I want to thank you for my next, because goodbye. You know, so when that was my melody, that was my healing last year. I promise you, when all this stuff went down last year, that was my healing. That was my healing song. Thank You Next. When that came on, I was like, ooh, thank you. The video threw me off, but the songs was my healing. My healing. It really soothed me, because I'm like, I was getting ready for my next. You know, even though we a year later, I had to heal from that situation. I had to physically get healed from it. And God is still healing me now. Because like I said, it's just people like, well, here you should be all the way. But if somebody is constantly doing things to you, it's hard to let it go. Because like you go from one thing to the next thing it's like, come on. It's like, man, after another, you just constantly keep on, ooh. And I was like, I see it's a show called Snap. I'm like, I see how people snap. But I thank God that that he was like, it's not that serious, Tiffany. It's not that serious. You know, don't even put yourself out there. You get out here acting crazy and all. What's the purpose of it? Running up and all. What is that going to accomplish? I want to get healed and set free from that situation. So that's why I wanted to come on a little bit on today. I went over 20 minutes. It's to talk about healing and getting set free from a person, you know, because it's hard. it's hard, especially if you gotta constantly see this person and they did you wrong and they man, you should be over it by now. In who time frame? Yours or mine? Let my heart heal. Let me mend. Or the person keep on jabbing you, jabbing things after another, keep doing this, and you like, man, I ain't even doing nothing to them. It's hard to swallow that pill, if you a good person and you really trying to be good in your relationship and they out here just running raggedy in the street, you like, I ain't even doing nothing. That would really bother you. I could laugh, it's like, you ain't doing nothing, like, man. And they just come up with these lies after lie after lie. And I was my own, I'm gonna be real quick, a private investigator. I'm my own private investigator. And when God give you intuition on a person, believe it. Believe it. Don't second guess it or whatever, because somebody can tell you anything. Believe it. Start do your own private investigation, and that'll take you through some things too, especially when and they constantly keep lying to you about it. It's like, come on. Why are you lying? I know more than what you think, but I ain't finna tell you, because you're gonna be like, dang, how you know all this? Don't worry about it. So it's hard, especially when somebody keep lying to you and lying. You're like, I know you doing. Come on, why you lying? It bothers you. I know what you out here doing. What you lying for? And they try to make you like you crazy. Like they flip the script all over you. I've been through all of that. They flip that script on you, like making like you crazy. I ain't doing nothing. Like, oh, okay. Sure you not. And like I said, and you like, man, God, why is they constantly doing that to me? But it's like you have to go through some things, And I look at a lot of people now, and I'm like, look at where God brought you from. You was in that, and now, it may not be the person that you least expect it to be, but they treat you good. They treat you good. They do things that nobody else has ever done for you. And it's wonderful, And sometimes you have to go through a process to get to that. Like I said, when my new situation, what God brings to me, I want the door to be all the way closed, not cracked. I don't want nobody to come back and say, man, I was just with her. People do that. I don't want no connect for. I don't want nobody, because that's humiliating, once again, and very embarrassing for somebody to be like, be able to say, man, we was with no. It's all fresh and all new. I want to be set free. I want to be healed. I want to be all of that. So I don't know if this message is, related to anybody, but I just want to tap into that just a little bit, just to talk about trying to heal from being hurt. It's hard to forgive somebody who continues to hurt you or who has hurt you, but if the whole thing is, if you don't forgive them, you can't move forward. You'll stop yourself from moving forward. And then if you do move forward with somebody, you're going to bring somebody else into your mess. And you can run people away from you, because they like, man, why did you even start talking to me? And you still mad about what the next did. You can't do that. So just ask God, touch your heart, because I do it every day. God, remove anything that's not like you from me. Remove it. Let me be able to forgive them. It's a process. It takes time. But let God do it. You gotta want it first. If you really want to get healed from a person or a situation, ask God to do it. Because I'm a work. God, remove it. I'm doing it. Remove it. Even when the thoughts come into my mind about bad things, I'm like, God, take those thoughts out of my mind, because I don't even want to be here. I want to be somewhere else. So take those bad thoughts out of my mind. And even for people, when you like, man, this person's a liar, let them keep lying. Let them keep lying. As long as you do right, that's all that matters. When you continue to do right, right will follow you. You don't want them, once again, like I said, you got some good seeds and you got some bad seeds in the ground. You don't want to continue to have bad seeds because of what an individual did to you. You want to have good seeds. And you don't want to keep going toe to toe with somebody. Man, you did this, so I'm finna do that. You went out, how is that helping you? If they out here messing around with other people and you start why you want to go tick for tack with somebody? Because at the end of the day, that you only hurt yourself. You're not hurting them. How's that helping them? helping you, or you out here fighting and stuff like that, they still gonna be doing. What's the purpose in all of that? You have to get healed and set free, and that's it. So that's the only thing I came on today to talk about, that, because it's a very touchy topic, even for me. I'm like I said, it was so hard for me to tell my ex, I forgive you, because it's like I said, I wasn't doing nothing. At the time, nothing. Even today, still, I wasn't doing nothing. I'm like, and you telling me some stuff I did to you 6 years ago, and it wasn't even that. It's like, guys, y'all can do something, but when a female do it, oh no, it's the end of the world. You can't forgive them, but y'all could be out here just running raggedy in the street. Yeah, it's that's a hard pill to swallow, huh, gentlemen? But forgive. Take a deep breath like I'm doing now, talking about this topic, and just ask God to forgive you. Forgive you. Why I say forgive you? Because you might have been thinking of some things in your mind, or you might have been out here. I was doing it, just popping off a little bit. Say, God, just forgive me for even that, and moving forward, just day by day, remove it. Even talking about it, me coming on here doing these videos is helping. Talk about it. If you around people like, girl or dude, remove yourself from around those type of people. Bring yourself around people who's going through or been through this topic, and they like, I understand. It's a process. Don't let nobody rush your process. And with that being said, remember, ask God to remove it, and day by day, it'll get better. And guess what? And thank your ex for your next.